Go ghost, go AFK, whatever you have to do, lock in and get done what you gotta get done. Because there's only one person in the world that can make a difference in your future, and that's you. That's today's topic. That's what we're gonna talk about on how to really go ghost, how to really just lock in and get done what we have to get done. Now, before we can even discuss more into that, you have to ask yourself these two questions, internal question, truly. Whether you're going through a breakup, whether you're going through a rough time, whether you're confused, whatever it is, this is the two most important questions you need to ask yourself. And that is, who are you and what do you want? And these two questions are very hard to answer because sometimes we often forget who we are. Sometimes we often forget what we're doing in this world. Sometimes we forget what we need to get done for our life, for a better future. And normally we forget about this because why? The number one reason because of this is because of comfort. Comfort is a deadly trap. Comfort is truly a death killer because we don't often see it. We don't see it visual because it happens in our everyday life. Now, what is comfort? Comfort usually comes upon when we're scrolling on TikTok, when we're playing video games all day, when we're going out drinking, when we're doing absolutely nothing, knowing it's not being productive. Now listen, I'm not gonna here tell you have to read, you have to take a cold shower, you gotta fast, you gotta go to the gym. By all means, you don't gotta go that extreme. But you know what you're using your time for. So use your time wisely. If you know you're watching TikTok or scrolling on YouTube for 3 hours a day, maybe you might want to cut down on that and start picking up a book. Maybe you want to cut down on that and start writing. Maybe you want to start sending out emails to make a better future for yourself. Because that single quick action will make a better future. And I know it sounds very small, but every intake, every action that you choose will lead up to a better result. Only if you start. Now, another thing is, everything does take time. When we like it or not, everything that we are going to work up toward will take time. When you have a dream, when you have a goal, you must understand a couple things. The first thing is that people will not believe in you. And I know it sounds totally blunt that people are more often to be a dream killer than to actually support you. And the reason for this is because people want to be right. People want to be a know-it-all. So how is the fastest way to be the know-it-all? Well, if you tell someone your dreams and goals, they will shut it down. And they will say, oh, I told you, it didn't work. They might be right for the first month. Hell, they might be right in the first 1 or 2 years. But they will not be right in a decade. They will not be right in 20 years. Because why? You stayed consistent. You locked in. You grinded. You went in ghost mode and did what you had to do to make a better future. And then in the next 10 or 20 years, they're like, damn, how did you get this far? Damn, how did you become so successful? And those two words are go ghost. The other thing is, you don't tell people your next move. It's the most foolish thing I ever hear, and often we hear about this more. Because most of the time when we first start something, we're excited. We have a lot of energy, we're inspired of this new idea that we have. And we often tell people, our friends and family, and it's totally normal, which we want to, because we want to get their intake. We want to get their idea of what they think about this. Again, oftentimes, I want to be totally blunt with you, they will not care. And if they do care, they'll shoot it down again. And they'll tell you a million reasons why it will not work. But the only thing that you need to remember is that, why is this going to work? That's it. You don't need people to support you. You don't need people to tell you otherwise. You need to ask yourself, okay, why can I make this work? What kind of unique, unfair advantage do I have towards this idea? And so if this idea doesn't work, I'll have a new idea. I'll have a backup plan. Because if you have this in place, you will create a new mindset. And the mindset is totally more about the mentality. Now listen, mentality can go very in-depth. And I say this goes more in-depth because mentality comes toward you being inspirational, you being motivated. Now listen, I'm not going to here tell you that you can be whatever you want. I'm not going to say that you could be a basketball player, you could be a professional football player, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, if you have no credential, if you have no skill sets beyond, if you have no background into that. However, I will tell you is that what you believe realistically on your point of view is that you could do it. If you truly believe that you could be a doctor because you have the skill set for it, then you will be a doctor. If you truly believe that you could become a full-time content creator because you have some unique talent or you have some new idea that you want to push out toward the entertainment industry, then you got it. But you must understand that what first comes is mentality. Understanding that you can do it. You have the confidence to do it. No matter how many failures, how many setbacks, no matter how many people tell you otherwise, you know that you can keep doing it. Another thing is that when we go ghost, in knowing that not only are you building your mentality, not only are you building more time to figure yourself out, not only are you not telling people your last plan, but you're also using the time to build a new skill set. Skill set is the number one thing to really anything. And I say this because skill set can come a very long way. It's a money-making machine. We also see that why do people make so much money? Well, it's a skill set that they have to solve a bigger problem. You see, why did doctor make roughly, or let's say surgeon make roughly $200,000 to $400,000 a year? Because they can solve a skill set toward doing surgery. They can do skill sets on doing actual hard work that not many people can do. And this is something that you must realize. Same thing with content creation. If you know how to scale up a social media page from 0 to 10,000 followers in 30 days, that is a very valuable skill set, as many people do not have that. Regardless if people even have that, you have that under your belt. And again, people around you will probably not know how to even start that. Another thing is that skill sets will take time. It could take you roughly a couple years to master. It could take you up to 4,000 hours to master. But at the end of it all, if you know that you want to get good at this skill set, you must build, you must start creating new ideas to enhance your skill sets. And the best way to learn is truly through YouTube, books, mentors, sometimes just experiencing it and just starting. Those, honestly, in my opinion, that's the best way to learn anything. And with all that being said, you must understand is that when you do go ghost, I'm not saying cut out all your friends. I'm not saying cut out your whole social life, cut out your relationship. By no means don't go too extreme. But you must understand is that you must put enough time for yourself, enough time you put for the work that you do on your 9-to-5 job or at school, and you must put enough time toward your social life. Now this is, I guess, considered as the balanced life. And the balanced life is very tricky, as oftentimes if you want to be the best, you want to be the greatest, you have to cut out your social life. You have to cut out your life to be the best. And if you believe this is what you have to do, then by no means go what you gotta do. But for most people, some people will try to choose a balanced life. And oftentimes, people that do choose a balanced life, it can work in their favor. It's just the mindset that you have and the way how you manage your time. There's always a way to how to balance two lives, but I will say through experience, it's hard to do both. But if you truly want to find a way, there is a way. But, you just gotta find a way on that. But first, before you can even think about the balanced life, before you can think about cutting every single person out of your life, you must understand what you want and who you are. And once you figure those out, that's when you start grinding. That's when you start getting to work. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Anyway, so have a good one, and peace.